Whoa, we're in the country. Greetings, we're in the beautiful English countryside today, and I want to do another video about Israel and Palestine, because since my last video I've learned quite a lot. A lot of people have commented on that video, and it's an insane topic. I mean, just straight off the bat, yeah, I mean, you've literally got like 2,000 years worth of research to do on this topic if you really want to be educated on it. It's insane. And what I've come to the conclusion of is you're either one side or the other. You're either pro-Palestine or you're pro-Israel. There doesn't really seem to be any sort of neutral people on this topic. That's where I like to fall, really. But it's absolutely mental. And like I say, you're either one side or the other, and if you are, you're passionately on that one side. You know, some of the comments that I've read, pro-Palestine, pro-Israel, they're passionate about their cause. And I think everyone, at least everyone on whatever side of the argument you're on, has got to agree that the Israeli government is pretty mental. I mean, I think any government that has the same leader for so long, I mean, this Netanyahu bloke has been in power for bloody years, hasn't he? You know, same with even here in the UK, Margaret Thatcher was bloody in power for like 10 years, and that got stale, and we had to kick her out. You've got to freshen things up. You can't have the same bloody leader for so long. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they actually were either about to have an election in Israel or did have one, but I think this has kind of affected it, and it might also turn the sway on a more sort of pro-Netanyahu opinion. You know, you always go for the stronger leader in these sorts of situations when you're under attack, but I think the government in Israel's got to change, and I think that's the only way to get some sort of resolution in this conflict. And I think the opposing side to Netanyahu in the election was going to be more sort of two-state based policy, getting that put forward. But that government's got to change for starters. But it's turned into what should be politics issue, policies and governments, countries' governments, turns into a race and religious thing, and it shouldn't, because it's policies of a country's government in Israel. But of course this goes back thousands of years, and it inevitably turns into a religion thing. We saw over this week, we've had people in North London going through Jewish areas, Palestinians waving flags, shouting out "kill the Jews," and of course that doesn't represent the majority of Palestinian voices, but you get these fucking idiots come along and do that, and it gets reported, and it's not good. But then, you know, it just turns into mudslinging when stuff like that happens. You know, I feel for these Jewish people in North London that are having to see these cars going by, waving Palestinian flags and shouting this absolute nonsense, when they're British Jewish people. They live in London. They've got nothing to do with the policies of the Israel government, and they're getting this shit thrown at them. And it's disgusting, and it just turns into this bloody mudslinging match between Muslim population, Jewish population, when it's the actions of government and policy that are to blame. And anything that starts going towards anti-Semitism, anti-Islam with ISIS and all this sort of stuff, but any person that has been to Auschwitz, or I haven't been to Auschwitz, but I've been to Anne Frank's house in Amsterdam, when you really get a real taste, you get near and you get a real taste of what the Holocaust was really about. and anyone that really dives into it, you can see how easy this developed in Nazi Germany, and how easy it was for normal people to start hating Jews with the certain right amount of propaganda. And Jewish people live in fear of that. They do, every single day, and for good reason. And when they get in people driving through the streets shouting this abuse, it's disgusting. And I hate the fact that this is happening in Britain, and I hate it the other way round, when Muslims get blamed for the atrocities of ISIS. You know, British Muslims. I worked with I worked in Croydon. They got a large Muslim population, Pakistanis, Indians, and I'll tell you anything, that they are the most nicest human beings I've ever met. And you know what? They're just living normal lives. They're talking about normal things. They're getting on with their business. They don't talk about their religion. They knew that I was an atheist, and they don't talk about religion. They don't bring it up. They're just getting on with their lives. This is what people are doing in this country. And when I see this rubbish thrown at Jewish population, thrown at the Muslim population the other way around, purely for the actions of a government, it's disgusting, and I hate it. And the only way we're going to get around this, in my opinion, is a fresh start government for Israel. We need to buck our ideas up. UK, US, we need to stop selling arms and all the things that we do to encourage the Israeli government. And there needs to be a proper, solid two-state solution. I don't have all the answers. As always, comment below. I'm just giving my opinions on the small amount of knowledge that I have. But I can't stand seeing when this conflict exacerbates like it does. All I see is the increased hatred for the Jewish population and the increased hatred for the Muslim population, and I hate that, and I can't stand that in my country. As always, let me know your thoughts, comment below. I've also started another YouTube channel just for fun, because politics can sometimes get, you know, a little bit depressive. I try and make some of my videos a little bit jokey and light-hearted, and I love talking about these matters. But I've started another YouTube channel where I talk about my other love, which is music, and more specifically rock and metal music. I'm going to be doing reviews and stuff like that. So the vast majority of you, that probably won't interest you, so don't worry. But if you do have a liking for rock and metal music, go check it out. I'm going to put the description down below. Okay, take care guys, bye bye.